maybe I'll ride in the back when you get in the car next, or when you drive.
Would you like to do that?
Might be worth getting some rear seat, because think about it. Every other journalist on this trip is riding alone. How many of them are going to have rear seat impressions? Much less POV rear seat impressions.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what sets us aside.
Exactly. Yep. Hey everybody, it's Charlie and Chris with Daily Motor, and we are out driving the all-new 2023 Mazda CX-90. This is the flagship for Mazda. They built this vehicle entirely ground up, intending it to be the best Mazda on sale, and we are experiencing if that is true.
Yes, and I've got flashcards.
Yes, we're very we're trying to be better uterists, and so we made these flashcards for ourselves. I laminated them and everything.
That's right. Charlie brought these from his house in Michigan.
Yeah.
All the way here. Yeah. And this is so you guys can stop telling us we're unprepared.
Yeah. Shut up. Typically we do the entire investigation of the car around beforehand, but we're not going to do that right now because we're multiple reasons, which we'll tell you when we get in. First of all, we took a detour that we didn't intend to take.
Charlie took a detour.
Yeah. And so now we're here. And also, I didn't want to make Chris have to put on a microphone, so I just figured he could enunciate from inside the car.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. But we will get a chance to do more walking around the car, probably in the middle of this video.
This is the PHEV.
Yes, this is the plug-in hybrid version, Premium Plus.
Premium Plus, yes, it's about 7. Insert Kanye West, which you actually should. This one has the 2.5 liter with the electric motor, but you can also have a 3.3 liter turbo inline 6, which is the one to have if you're talking to me, and it's not the one to have if you're talking to my colleague here with the camera on his face.
Yes, because as much as the power numbers and everything of that inline 6 sound cool, I just can't really imagine driving this vehicle like a hoon machine. But, you know, we're going to find out later today. Yeah. Also, this being a first drive, I've eaten a good amount of breakfast and therefore have air coming up.
That's why there will be many cuts in this video.
Yes. We've been driving around mostly in electric vehicle mode. You can get about 26 miles of mixed driving in EV only, which is what Mazda estimates. One of the cool things about this car, as you saw there a moment ago, if you do put your foot down through the kickdown button, it will fire up the motor, and then you get a healthy amount of horsepower and torque.
How's the steering?
It's a bit heavy.
Is it?
Yes. See, why do you need the inline 6? This thing scoots.
It does scoot. Wow. Brake pedal?
Works. He has a Tesla with an LED out. Or maybe it's just the lighting.
Somebody's towing a Corvair, I think. No, it's not a Corvair.
Is it a Chevette?
Yeah, Charlie, you should edit that out so I don't get killed.
Well, that car is unsafe at any speed.
No, it's not a Corvair. What is that? It's a Mazda RX-2.
Perfect. Oh, not who I expected to be driving.
Me either.
All right.
Anyways.
Yes.
With this, you get 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque.
And if you're buying this car, that might not matter to you, and that's okay. What you should know is that it's beautiful inside, and it's been pretty quiet, and the steering is pretty heavy, and kind of vague feeling off-center.
It's very quiet in here, you know, it really is.
Yeah, we have not tested the Bose audio system yet, but by the time you will have watched this, there will also be a DM sound review on it, which you could bring up and experience for yourselves.
It's worth noting that the plug-in hybrid, you can only tow up to 3,500 pounds, but if you get the inline 6, you can opt for a towing package and tow up to 5,000 pounds.
Chris is just using this opportunity to continue memorizing his specs for his Topher video. Ooh, Chris, adjust the vents right here. They feel nice.
They do feel quite nice.
Yeah, and they've got little gold accents.
Yes, I am hot.
Well, you can change that because we have dual zone climate control.
Piped in engine noise?
It is quite. I wonder if it's quieter. Oh wait, you can turn it off in the settings, can't you? Which, because Mazda is rotary knob only, I can do that and not kill us both. Although I've been driving a lot of BMWs lately, so I'm like looking for BMW buttons here.
This is not doing it.
Vehicle settings?
My vent was closed, that's why. You want me to do that?
No, because Mazda said it's very safe for me to do. It does not take away from the driver's attention because it's not a touchscreen.
They did actually tell you that in person last night.
Which I thought kind of funny because it's like, just because I'm not touching it doesn't mean my attention's not getting taken away. But okay. This would be a good opportunity for me to try the active lane keeping. does this not have it? I see blank switches here. I believe we don't have that package. That's kind of disgusting on $57,000 car. We don't have the active lane keeping.
It's kind of disgusting.
Kia Soul that we're getting next week is going to have highway driving assistant. This doesn't have active lane keeping? Wow. All right. Because wouldn't it be right here? Wouldn't there be a little steering wheel button?
Yeah, it would be, because it would be right below the distance for your adaptive cruise.
Yeah. So we will have an accident now, and it's Mazda's fault.
Yeah. Well, no, because it's so safe to use the knob, Charlie.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
You can change your regenerative braking level, which it still didn't feel that high, even though is there an extra high? No, there's not. I will say the screen is still not the most quick to react sort of interface. I could see why some people might choose another vehicle over this because of how the infotainment looks. How does CarPlay look? Are you connected?
I can't connect.
I'm just curious. Looks nice. Takes up the whole screen.
It does take up the whole screen. Okay, we should.
Is that song about drugs or depression?
Oh, yes, we do have wireless CarPlay, but I'm
Okay.
going to use USB only.
Okay.
This song is about heartbreak.
So it's closer to depression, I guess.
Yes.
I will note the seat bottom is kind of short, the thigh support.
A little bit. I'm okay over here.
Only two-way lumbar adjustment also.
I've only got two-way seats over here. Well, I guess actually it's three-way if you kind of put down.
When the engine is running, you really don't even notice it until you get on it hard. I mean, I'm accelerating right now in charge mode, so the engine's on. You can't even hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, Mazda's built so many of these 2.5 liters at this point. You'd think they'd have it down by now.
It's a very upfront hazard switch there.
Weren't we talking about that in the Genesis electrified G80? How
Yes, it was in the middle
right,
of the
yeah.
wood. Yeah.
This is a little better, at least kind of built in that way. Also, you want to be able to see it if you're in an emergency, because you're like, ah!
Yeah.
You know? Maybe I'll ride in the back when you get in the car next, or when you drive.
Would you like to do that?
Might be worth getting some rear seat, because think about it. Every other journalist on this trip is riding alone. How many of them are going to have rear seat impressions? Much less POV rear seat impressions.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what sets us aside.
Exactly. Yep. I think you're quite going to like this, Chris, from the driver's seat. It's got a nice commanding driving feel, and the whole gauge cluster is it's good and viewable. It's a good size wheel. The leather feels decent. Nice stitching. I like the small little horn area that Mazdas do. It's just a very natural feel.
Yeah.
The greenhouse is really open.
Yeah. Well, you have this shut as well. There's a big pano roof.
Right. The mirrors are a pretty good size, the outside mirrors. I would like a camera rear view mirror, but the visibility about the back's okay. Okay, rear seat of the CX-90. Ooh,
Right. First impressions.
very aggressive recline. And look at these little pop-up bottle holders to hold my Path water.
It's kind of large. So this actually works just like a regular shifter. Like it does actually move.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have heated seats back here and individual climate control. No cooled seats, although I believe that's an option on the Turbo S Premium whatsoever top model thing.
Charlie, what are you talking about the steering being heavy?
It is.
I mean, it's not that heavy.
It's not as bad as a Frontier or a CX-50, but it's not light.
It's true. Yeah.
Lots of adjustable recline back here. This is a nice place to be. And you are in charge mode right now.
That's why it's making a racket.
Yes. Not giving you any electric assist. At least minimal. You know what car this is much nicer than?
The Chevy Traverse.
Yes. And the Honda Pilot Trail Sport.
Yes, good observation.
Well, because think about it. Didn't that Pilot cost like 48 grand?
It was 50 grand.
Yeah. And this is 57.
Yes.
So you could simply tack on one extra year of payments and have this.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yeah.
It's really quiet from back here. I could straight up take a nap. The seat goes real far back, and I just got the armrest going.
Okay.
Dad, don't merge into the Ram. Don't crash for a moment, because I'm gonna get into the front.
Okay. Oh my god.
Chris, I said not to crash. Ugh.
You got like an inch from me.
Couldn't get my feet.
Charlie.
What? Oh no. It doesn't have a weight sensor, I guess.
Oh dear.
I've teleported into the front seat here.
No, you need to leave that in.
Oh, Nora Jones. She's a millennial artist.
Is she?
Yes.
That's why I don't know.
Can't play too much of that, we'll get demonetized. Oh, it's nice up here too.
Speed limit's 55.
California speed limits are high. Maybe this isn't very high, but
55, I saw.
On like side roads, we were driving around and I'm just like, geez, this road is like 40, 50, like it seems like it should be 20. People got places to be, I guess. Cool, well we will follow up later on in the day and we'll drive the
Turbo S.
The Turbo S and
Porsche
report back to you on which one you should get.
Yeah. It's gonna be the Turbo S.
I don't know, this one's quite nice.
This one is quite nice, but it's not like soulful. I think.
Do you expect you're gonna get in that car and there's gonna be like a 9,000 RPM red line and you're just gonna want to send it?
No, but it's gonna be it'll be more. Wow,
that's beautiful.
It will be more pleasurable to drive the 6-cylinder car.
Okay.
I'm just saying it will.
As we kind of expected, you can hustle this car around. And actually, I'm pretty satisfied with the amount of power up top from this engine. There's not really any lag.
Yeah, manual mode?
Yeah.
Wow.
That fake noise is a lot, but it's not the worst fake engine noise out there.
Is there going to be any battery power left for me?
Ooh, no, I've already, how have I extinguished that? Well, here, let's do this for you. There you go.
Thank you. Give me charge.
All our things rattling around. It's holding gears for me now. It wasn't holding gears for me earlier. I don't know. Maybe because traction control's off. Oh, so it'll hold gears if traction control's off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because watch. But if I do this,
I wish it had a limiter sound. Like
burr, 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 burr.
Yeah.
All right, now traction control's back on. Oh, it's holding still. It wasn't holding earlier, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I won't go as far as to say that it's thrilling to drive like this. I mean, there will be people who are going to say in other videos, "Oh, this thing's really sporty. The rear-wheel drive architecture makes it so you can really throw it around." I mean, yeah, could I be doing this in other 3-row crossovers as easily? Probably not. But that's not to say that it's like all of a sudden like it feels like a 911 or something like that.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
it's I know.
don't expect it to feel like a 911.
But it does feel
athletic.
quite good. Yeah,
it feels
yeah.
athletic for a 3-row SUV.
And I still haven't been getting any tire squeal, so I don't know what rubber they've got on it. Did I?
Yeah, yeah, you did. Earlier you did.
All right.
Oh heavens.
Decently responsive. There's a decent bit of delay from these shifts.
What is that?
It's the sound of a lot of technology in front of us. You can tell by the soft and peanut butter colored interior that actually almost exactly matches Chris's pants.
Yeah, I prepared for this.
Well, you typically don't like when you match cars, as evidenced by the 911.
That one was embarrassing because it was green. This is classy.
Anyway, also your watch band is pretty close. We are in the Turbo S, also similar to Porsche's.
That's right. 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque.
Yes.
On premium fuel.
On premium. If you run on regular fuel, they don't give you a torque figure necessarily, but they do tell you at 319 horsepower.
Fail.
Oh, you're stuck behind a U-Haul now? Bro, you got all that torque and you didn't use it.
I haven't driven this car yet. I'm like...
You know what your pull-out ability was?
I don't know how...
That artificially sounds like a V6.
A little bit. Yeah, in some ways it also kind of sounds like the BMW piped-in engine noise, which is not bad. Well, it's a bad thing if it's in the M3, but on the other ones it's okay.
Look at this, it's just super fun. They killed it with the interiors of these cars.
This interior is beautiful.
It's just
this
so
is
good.
like, look at the steering wheel.
I know, yeah.
I mean, mean,
look at how shiny.
That is just.
You'd have to carry a
gorgeous.
microfiber in your pocket just to like
to shine everything.
Yeah.
Up. Yeah. This car is. The interior of this thing is just stunning.
Why don't more brands just strive to have better interiors like this?
I don't think this will wear out either because no one's touching it.
Other than
except
me
us,
when
so
we pet it.
I mean, we're touching it, obviously, but.
Here's some more good crisp bits for you.
Yeah, gross.
Why was somebody eating in this car? It's only been driven for a day.
It's
half a day, really.
It's all those journalists.
You know what you don't see any of here?
Piano black.
Yes.
How did I know?
Because Mazda's smart.
You're also not an enthusiast of piano black.
No. You and I agree on some things. There's a highway patrol officer back there, but
is there?
But if
right up to the speed limit.
He's parked.
Oh, okay.
This has been getting better fuel economy than we got in the plug-in hybrid.
Well, maybe whoever drove this drove it very softly. I'm all in my Topher video. Oh, this is gonna be the efficient car. I'm gonna get in this, and it's got.
Yeah, something tells me we might drop that average down.
We're gonna drop it under 20. I bet. Just right down the road, though.
Yeah.
Similar. I mean, it feels the same as the plug-in hybrid, obviously, because it's the same car.
Yeah.
Still quiet, still minimal road intrusion. Brake pedal feels pretty good. Yeah, no, actually, the brake pedal feels great.
Let me spit a few facts at you kids. 11 different trims for the Mazda CX-90.
Which is too many.
4 of those are the just turbo model. 3 of those are the plug-in hybrid, and 3 of those are the Turbo S model, this more performance one. This one coming in at just a hair under $60,000. But the car itself starts around $40,000, so it's a $20,000 split.
This car is probably more than $60,000.
I don't think you can really get any options on it.
Destination, everything else.
Is that price not including destination?
No, because I heard somebody earlier saying this was $62,000. The sticker.
Also, this interior might be optional.
Probably.
Wow. Okay, all right, so $62,000. So an entire base Ford Maverick spread in the pricing between the base car and the top trim car.
Yes.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. There are also 3 different seating configurations for the CX-90. You can have an 8-seater, which I think is kind of a lot in a car like this. 3, 3, 2.
Oh, right.
Yep. Then you can have a 7-seater, which you saw in the plug-in that we were driving earlier. So this is the 6-seater option with the center console right there. Ooh, what do we have here? A little slide out for kids to put things. And a little center console.
You'll have to pay attention to that, Charlie.
What?
I said you'll have to pay attention.
Oh, when I have children?
You have children?
Children?
If you have children.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully Alyssa doesn't leave me from being on these press trips for so long. The crazy thing is there's so much nice about this car that there's not all that much to say. I mean, I like the physical controls. I like the way everything works and is laid out.
The steering wheel feels amazing. I mean, look at this multi-contour on the steering wheel.
Yeah. You know me and Chris, we would complain about petty things if we could find them.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of the infotainment, and I'm not a huge fan of, what was the thing earlier I didn't like much?
Steering.
The steering.
I like the steering. I disagree with Charlie on the steering,
Okay.
but it's fine.
All right. This has some quilting to it.
Let's see passing power.
Transmission sounds a little lazy. The powertrain in general sounds a little lazy, which is what I expected, because Mazda turbo motors aren't screamers. They're luggers. It's politically correct, right?
I think so.
Be a lugger. The Kid Laroi. The Kid Laroi. You like him,
still
right?
Wrong.
What?
Still wrong.
Kid Laroi?
Still wrong.
LA
Sound it out.
return on investment. Laroi.
Leroy.
Isn't that what I said?
No.
Laroi?
You said
and
Larry.
Yeah, right. The Kid Laroi.
The Kid Leroy.
Okay. You like him, right?
Yes. I do.
It's been a long day behind the wheel of the CX-90. Fortunately, there are plenty of worse cars that we could be in.
That is
but
true.
Chris and I are still liking the car.
Yeah, we're a little hungry.
Yeah, you are?
Yes.
I told you should have eaten more, Chris. We're going to give you a little bit of spirited driving here, just to show you that while this car might not feel like a Miata, It's about as close to a 3-row Miata under $100,000 that you're going to get, or maybe about under 180, however much the X7 costs.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's how I liken this car. You know how we get in the Mazda 3 Turbo and we're like, this car isn't like as exciting as like Mazda Speed 3 or anything like that, you know? This feels like a 3-row version of that car, but this is better because we're disappointed in the Mazda 3 Turbo because other hot hatches exist that are hotter.
Yeah.
And we know it could be more, but it isn't. Yeah. This is a 3-row SUV that still has the same like feel of that Mazda 3 Turbo.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, like I wasn't expecting that. There's not other competitors that achieved this level. If you got things like the Mazda, the Acura MDX Type S, and it's like, yeah. Now the engine isn't exactly sporty, but it's powerful, and the chassis is what makes up for it. The chassis, the steering, you can feel the ethos behind this car.
Wow, that was so nice of those people to pull over.
It was, yeah. Well, you know, you gotta give way to the better drivers.
That's right. Little Mega Farm.
This car is good enough to drive and competent enough to startle your passengers.
Yes.
Your kids will not be making noise in the back when you're driving them around like this.
No.
You know, owning a car like this is probably how you get your children to become car enthusiasts. If you were 9 years old and your mother had this instead of a Commander, would you have been pleased?
Yes, but I'm still a car enthusiast, even though she did have a Commander.
2, actually.
2 Commanders.
We have been noticing some weird transmission shudder. And we're hoping that is due to the fact that it's maybe a pre-production car. But don't know for sure. This is a new transmission for Mazda. It's an 8-speed multi-clutch transmission, no torque converter. And they've been so used to building 6-speed torque converter automatics that we don't know if they know how to do anything else properly.
They've been making 6-speed automatics for as long as I've been alive.
Yes. See, the POV driving gods bless me more than Chris for open roads.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of just take my...
I was going to say you've just been...
I allegedly...
I'm sorry. They were very nice at getting out of your way.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the UK right now.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that. Like Scotland or something.
Yeah, Scotland.
Chris quite likes the CX-90. I quite do as well. Very few things for us to be silly and complain about because this is a genuinely good car, and oftentimes people come to these first drive events and they're wined and dined and put up in fancy places and they'll tell you, oh, this car is fantastic. But we wouldn't fall victim to that, and yet we're still telling you this car is fantastic. I mean, there's not much I would change. The steering at low speeds is a bit heavy.
A bit.
It's a bit
heavy. It's not very heavy.
It's just a bit.
I think the steering does feel lighter. I don't know if that's placebo or what, but the steering does feel lighter at low speeds.
Driving it a bit spiritedly.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe it's because this one has a power adjust steering column. Did you mention that to the viewers?
This one has a power adjusted steering column. It's got a little nub back here, a little clicky click nub. It's like a joystick.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. We like the car. We think you would too. If you want to hear the sound system, check the link in the description. It's pretty good. If you want to see us drive it and not talk, check the Winding Road channel.
And if you want to see me drive
and talk about approach angles and ground clearances,
then check out the video on the Topher.
Yep.
2 videos on the Topher.
We are Paris and Nicole, and as always, inline 6 on and pet the dash.